Americans think their way is new and the world should be that way. But a lot of American rhetoric and basic belief systems are based on a British philosopher from the 1600s. His name is John Locke. The Second Amendment in the Bill of Rights is derived from Lockean belief system, as well as most of the Constitution and the country's structures of power. John Locke's natural rights, explored in his book, Second Treaty, paint a picture of humans in a very dated way. In his book, Locke states humans have a state of nature which is self-preservation, much of which he sums up as protecting oneself and, by extension, one's belongings. Locke, born in England under a monarchy, saw the inequality of all-powerful ruler governing a group. He believed in natural laws of humans and that the government's main purpose is protecting humans' God-given rights, particularly the rights that an individual has. This is what led many Americans to be convinced the government is supposed to protect their rights, to bear arms. These beliefs are the building blocks of American society, little of which we have changed since 1776, either by constitutional amendments to the Bill of Rights or consciously changing our ingrained patterns of thoughts. Americans value the individual right and their rights much more than the rights of any group. We don't have to look far to see this. We see this in the right-to-work states busting up unions, in market forces like Amazon and Facebook tailoring and editing our individual online experiences, and our wages and residencies being individualized. The most detrimental example of, however, is protection of the Second Amendment over the safety of people. Not all Americans believe that individual rights surmount the rights of a group. In direct contrast, John Dewey, an American-born philosopher, experienced firsthand the Lockean vision put into power. He watched time and time again the rights of a collective getting traded for the rights of the individual, just to better one person. John Dewey wrote extensively on people as a whole, more accurately, democracy, or the collective power of people. Dewey doesn't believe this limits humans, but allows adaptations. A true law of nature, not a Lockean one, is that change is inevitable, and it is a given entity does not evolve. If a given entity does not evolve to fit an environment, it will die. Dewey incorporates that principle into many of his writings, believing that when we come together to form democracy, we allow ourselves the ability to truly change with the times. His way of thought is the format that we should be using, especially when it comes to the Second Amendment rights. Most people in America, on all sides of the issue, seem very set on the notion that we cannot change the Bill of Rights. Americans are stuck on the outdated belief that the Bill of Rights are God-given rights that transcend time and space itself. The Bill of Rights, more specifically, the Second Amendment, allowing a well-regulated militia, need to adapt to the current environment. To put this into a metaphor that is more relatable, America is our loved one, dying of cancer, and their own cancerous cells, terrorists, are destroying their healthy cells, communities of people, that allow the body, society, to function. A reasonable person would seek a form of treatment to prevent their cancer from killing them. What a reasonable person doesn't do is say that every cell's God-given right is to wreak havoc on the body because their body's individual rights are more important than keeping themselves alive. It sounds irrational, doesn't it? So why do we insist, even in the face of reoccurring tragedies, that we can't revisit a relic from over 2 centuries ago, a relic which upholds beliefs that are not always clear or relevant? Gun violence and domestic terrorism are one of the many ways the Second Amendment has allowed such tragedies to flourish. Domestic terrorism has fluctuated in the past decade, but overall has trended upwards. U.S. facts. Not only has the domestic terrorism generally increased, but as of 2021, 48,830 people have died from gun-related violence. Gramlich. Our belief systems and laws built on our beliefs directly impact our relationship with violence. The God-given rights we preach are what have led people to this sense of entitlement, to believe that their perceived rights come under attack. They are allowed to protect them at any cost, just like Locke believed. How can a country continue to exist if it allows its citizens to choose what is only in the individual's best interests? By personifying America, we can see that just as a person with cancer should seek treatment, we too as a country need to seek treatment for our gun violence issues. Our thoughts and prayers are no longer good enough. The terrorists that we have created are to be feared more than the fear that revising the Second Amendment might be a slippery slope. Because this problem happening right now threatens everyone's life. We need to view humans the way John Dewey did, as a vital, interdependent resource to knowledge and power. This is the true way to change this country for the better, with our collective voices. Until we have made these changes, we will continue to fight these issues on individual levels, never truly solving the root problem. When we talk about changes, it becomes a part of the collective beliefs we hold. We must not only question the rhetoric we are told and meant to believe, but we must act as if our lives depend on our ability to adapt. We have the power to vote and to change the rules by which we are governed. If we have the capacity and the power to cause such violence in the name of our beliefs, then we have the capacity to change our beliefs for the betterment of us all.